In the 19th century, a new artistic movement emerged in France, transforming the way we perceive and represent the world. This movement, known as Impressionism, flourished between 1860 and 1880. During the period of the great social political change, after the end of the Franco-Prussian War and the fall of Napoleon III, artists began to explore new forms of expression, marking the beginning of the revolution in art.
The Impressionists broke with the academic tradition of painting, seeking to capture the scenes and fleeting moments of everyday life. They rejected the historical and religious themes to dominate the traditional painting and focusing on the urban life, outdoor scenes, and the depiction of the natural light. One of the most important characteristics of Impressionism is the focus of the technique of visible brush strokes. When looking closely at an Impressionist work, it is possible to see the artist's hand in every stroke. This style of short, quiet brush strokes, often in vibrant color, sought to capture the momentary impression rather than minute detail. Impressionist artists ventured out of the studio, painting in a plain air or outdoors to capture natural light and color in its most authentic context. This method allowed them to experiment with light and color in the real time, reflecting how objects and people change with the light of the day. An innovative technique of Impressionists was the use of relative color. The Impressionists chose to apply pure colors and not mix them on the palette, allowing the colors to blend optically from a distance. Thus, by moving away from the painting, the scene became clearer and the details sharper, creating a more vivid and emotional impression. Impressionism was initially viewed with skepticism by critics and the aristocracy. Many considered these works as unfinished or simple sketches. However, the revolutionary style found its place in the Salon des Sophies or Salon of the Architect, created by Napoleon III to showcase these new artistic approaches that changed established norms. Although in its early years, Impressionism was shown, it eventually gained recognition. After the death of Napoleon III and the fall of the traditional academy, Impressionist artists established themselves as prominent figures leading France to stardom in the art world. Today, Impressionism is celebrated for its bold experimentation and its ability to capture the scenes of the moment. Its legacy continues to influence painting and the way we see and experience the world.
In the second half of the 19th century, Impressionism revolutionized the art world, challenging established conventions and offering a new way of seeing and feeling the environment. This movement not only changed the way painting was done, but also marked the beginning of an evolution that would lead to post-Impressionism.
Among the most influential artists of Impressionism were Poussin, Vincent van Gogh, Georges Seurat, and Edgar Degas. Each brought their unique vision, taking art in new directions and experimenting with innovative techniques. Impressionists began with a focus on natural light and vibrant color, but as the moment evolved, artists began to incorporate more subjective and emotional elements into their work. Pressure and emotion became central components of the art, marking a transition to more expressive styles. One of the significant changes was the use of more intensely and exaggerated colors. Artists began to mix colors more broadly and use sharper contour language, moving away from the naturalistic representation of light and color. Instead of the capturing natural light accurately, they explored more synthetic and abstract representations. In addition, some artists began to experiment with new techniques, such as the use of thick pigments and special lights to apply color. Although working outdoors remained important, these artists also began to explore more variety techniques in their studios. Another innovative technique that emerged was pointillism, developed by George Seurat. This technique uses dots of pure color that, when viewed from a distance, were optically blended to form a coherent image. At the same time, some artists began to experiment with geometric and distorted forms, exploring new ways of representation, reality, and perception. These approaches paved the way for what became known as Post-Impressionism. Post-Impressionism, which emerged in the early 20th century, was an evolution of Impressionism. While Impressionism focused on capturing the light and momentary pressure, Post-Impressionism developed into more subjective and personal expression, developing styles that range from abstraction to symbolism. The legacy of Impressionism and its evolution into Post-Impressionism continue to influence contemporary art. This movement not only redefining painting, but also opening new avenues for artistic exploration and individual expression. Claude Monet was born in the 1840 and he died in the 1926, and he was a central figure in the history of art. His life and work not only marked Impressionism but also influenced Post-Impressionism and modern art. Monet began his artistic career in drawing and painting caricatures. However, he soon turned to landscape painting, where he found his true passion. In 1917, Monet was married with Camille, who became his muse and model in numerous works. Together, they had a son, and Monet painted many pictures reflecting their family life and surroundings. Monet's life was not without tragedy. Camille died prematurely, and Monet, deeply affected, painting her on several occasions and capturing her presence in a uniquely and moving way. Through his career, Monet achieved success and wealth, establishing himself as a prominent figure in the art world. His innovative approach to light and color left a lasting mark on Impressionism. Pierre-Auguste Renoir was born in France in 1841. He died in 1919, and he was one of the most important and prominent figures of Impressionism. Renoir is celebrated for his vibrant portraits and lively landscapes. His style is characterized by vivid colors, loose brush strokes, and focus on natural lights. Works such as Dancing in the Sea, The Umbrellas, and Rowers' Breakfast reflect his ability to capture everyday moments with a distinctive brilliancy. Renoir transformed painting with his focus on light and color, offering a vibrant and emotive